Greetings. We're here with Professor Noam Chomsky of MIT, the world's most quoted living author. And to me, it should make one wonder how censored our media really is. I mean, here, the man is the most quoted living author. He's world renowned in both linguistics and his political activism. And yet, with all these political shows we have on TV, how often have you seen them on? I want to talk today about marijuana versus tobacco. So actually what I'm going to do is not really ask a question, but have a discussion, and then I opened up with that, and I'm going to give it to you there.
If you compare tobacco and marijuana, some of the facts are very clear. Tobacco is a huge killer. It's one of the major killers there is among drugs. It's far and away the worst. Deaths from passive smoking, being exposed to smoke, are considerably higher than deaths from hard drug overdoses. And of course, active smoking is far worse.
Somebody with nicotine, you can see like maybe they're taking a break at a store and they're quick getting that in. Whereas cannabis doesn't seem to have that monkey associated with it. And maybe you could start that with the Harry Anslinger, who started that whole crusade against this other plant.
Story. I mean, what basically happened is that after Prohibition was ended, the Bureau of Narcotics had a big staff, huge bureaucracy, had to do something. So they grabbed onto marijuana. And at first there was a lot of hysteria about that. There actually were Senate hearings, but they were kind of a joke. The American Medical Association did participate, but they said nobody has any evidence that that's probably not good for you. But a lot of other things aren't either. It's no evidence that it's really harmful. But they did get some very dubious evidence that it drove people insane.
They really had evidence for this? Because from what I understand, testimony. Because I know that like Mayor LaGuardia had a study done afterwards.
Never find any serious evidence.
And plus it could actually help people who have AIDS and cancer.
I've known cases of people with cancer whose diets, whose food intake was declining.
Stimulates appetite.
I say that the best thing to do is marijuana, but you can't use it.
Right.
But the point with Anslinger is that they needed something. They seized on these hysterical claims about driving people insane, those horrible things are going to happen to you. It was not that they had evidence that it was harmful. It was, again, a class issue. Marijuana was picked basically for two reasons. It was used at first by Mexicans, and there was a lot of anti-Mexican discrimination.
Right, exactly.
And then it was used by blacks, black artists in the Harlem Renaissance and so on. This was picked, again, pretty much on a class basis. The criminal population is mostly black males, later
that's
women, Hispanics.
Regarding Obama, he was asked this question, which I have here, at least this came out, I guess it came out originally the Globe and Mail, and that's out of Canada?
Yeah.
Okay. At the beginning of the forum, President Obama stated, quote, "When running for president, I promised to open up the White House to the American people, and this event, which is being streamed over the internet, marks an important step towards that goal," end quote. Here's how he answered the question. I mean, he didn't really even
No, he just made a joke out of it, yeah.
3.5 million people voted. I have to say that there was one question that was voted on that ranked fairly high, and that was whether legalizing marijuana would improve the economy and job creation. And I don't know what this says about the online audience, but I just want, I don't want people to think that this was a fairly popular question. We want to make sure that it was answered. The answer is no, I don't think that is a good strategy to grow our economy. So, all right.
And picked audience.
Obama wasn't asked if he thought legalizing marijuana would stimulate the economy. He was told it would. Everyone knows that, or should anyway. He was asked if he would do something about it, but never answered the question he was asked.
It's not a joke. Criminalization in the United States, even a lot of it is drug-related, but the whole system that's developed, particularly in the last 30 years, but it's bad enough when you go farther back, is unusually savage by world standards.
If our president wanted change, I mean, here we're deciding what humans are so dangerous to society that they have to be put in a cage. That should be serious. I don't think people realize, too, is if a parent is sent to jail or prison, it's like orphaning children. I mean, mommy or daddy's being put in a cage. I hope that Obama gets to have a second thought about all this, is what I'm hoping. So we could have a better world, and change could be possible. And the other day, I was talking to somebody, and I said I was coming up here to talk to you. And he said, "Oh, he's really far left." I said, "No, he's rational."
The criminal population is mostly black males, Hispanics. Marijuana was picked basically for two reasons. It was used at first by Mexicans, and there was a lot of anti-Mexican discrimination.
Right, exactly.
And then it was used by blacks, black artists in the Harlem Renaissance and so on. It's not a joke. It's not a joke.